Hey there guys, well it's new comic book day and I am just outside the comic shop, actually heading over right now to pick up some new books from this week. Let's go ahead and see what they got on the shelf, guys. Come along, let's do this. Well, all right, guys, we got the books. It's a much bigger week than I thought, so let's stop wasting time. We'll head home, get a hold of Nick, and go over what we picked up. Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Oh Brother Comics. Today, we have new comic book day. It is Wednesday, Nick, and I have been waiting all week for this. How's your week so far, brother?
Oh, it's been great. And the comics that I got to pick up today made it even better. I read through the ones that I'm doing my reviews on this week, and they are awesome.
Oh, man, I've been hearing that from you and Matt so far. I haven't had a chance to read the books that I'm reviewing, but they're sitting right here, so I'm hoping that they're going to be just as good as what you guys got to read.
Let's hope.
I really do hope so. But you know what? Let's go ahead and let's start off this show where we go ahead and we just show the books that we picked up this week, followed by our next segment of Let's Chat, where we just kind of go over some of the news that we've heard in the comic world throughout this last week. What do you say, Nick? You go ahead and get us started?
Sounds good.
All right.
All right. Up first for me, I picked up Department of Truth. This is issue number 12.
Oh, been waiting for it, man.
And then I always pick this up. I know it's not like a big name or anything, but tons of following behind Doctor Who. And I love the show, so I always pick up the comics. They're a fun read. And then I decided to pick up this. My LCS actually had one of these on the counter to show off to everybody because it's such a unique idea. This is Echo Lands, and it is entirely landscape. So when you read this, you read it landscape, and that's how the whole comic goes.
You know, I saw that at the shop, and I was told that it's still the same size of a comic book. It's just landscape.
Yeah, it is. I looked through the one that they had like a demo out on the counter, and the guy behind the counter at my LCS was making sure everybody saw it, how cool it was. The art in it looks amazing. So
it did look
yeah,
pretty nice.
Definitely want to read through that one. Up next for me, I picked up Far Cry: Rite of Passage, and this is issue number 3. And then, of course, had to get the Donny Cates cover for King Spawn number 1. Huge Donny Cates fan and huge Spawn fan. So I did pick up the Marvel free previews just because this one does have Donny Cates Hulk number 1 preview. So really looking forward to that. And then I have loved this series, the Midnight Western Theater. This is issue number 4. And I think this one actually came out a couple weeks ago, but if you ordered it, which most LCSs, or at least all the LCSs in my area did through Diamond, you got it this week. If you ordered it through their other publisher, you got it like 2 weeks ago. So
interesting. Wonder why there's a delay.
I don't know, but that's with all Scout comics for some reason. They use 2 distributors, and one ships it 1 week and the other, and Diamond ships it 2 weeks later. So I'm always a little late on those, but they're such a great read. I love the stories. Then I picked up Norse Mythology, issue number 3.
Nice.
And then this one, I wasn't completely sold on the first issue, so I decided to pick up the second one just to see if the story does get a little bit more cohesive. It just felt really disjointed and kind of all over the place. But this is Mother of Madness, Mom, issue number 2. This is that Amelia Clark story she wrote or mostly wrote. She has a team of writers and artists too, but
she's heading this whole story. Yeah, this is kind of her project.
Yeah, and it has really good bones. It feels like it could be a really good story. They just need to get together and kind of make it a little bit more cohesive, and need to refine how they get their point across.
Okay. Yeah, I still need to read it from last week, so it's sitting on my pile.
Yeah, it definitely it could be a great story. So I'm hoping that they get a little bit more of that and are able to portray the story it could be.
Nice.
And then up next for me, of course, is Something is Killing the Children.
Heck yes.
Loving that. And then we're into the Star Wars book. So picked up Darth Vader, issue number 15. And this is an amazing read. I'm like speechless right now. I read through that comic immediately, and that is exactly what I want out of a Star Wars comic. So
good to hear that, because I've been fairly disappointed with some of the writing in Star Wars recently.
I have too, with the exception of the High Republic stuff.
Right.
Like most of the mainline, like Dr. Aphra, which is what my next one is. I've not been like I love the Dr. Aphra books, but the latest ones have been kind of falling flat for me, and so have the Vader ones, with like Vader going through that whole humiliation and everybody punking him constantly. Like I wasn't really feeling it. Like that's just not Vader to me. And then this one just blows all that stuff away.
Good.
He gets back to his Vaderness.
Nice. Way it should be.
And then, of course, I had to pick up Thor, issue number 16, and this is an amazing read as well.
You guys
absolutely
are all on top
love
of it.
that. Yeah, and then as soon as I saw this from Peach Momoko, like I had to have this. As you can tell, Beta Ray Bill, my favorite character, so could not pass that one up.
Very nice.
And then I also really loved the first 2 issues of Vinyl, so I picked up issue number 3. I have not gotten a chance to read this one yet, but I will do that either today or tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it. And then finally for this week, I picked up We Live number 4, and I really enjoy that story as well. So
heck yeah.
How about you?
Hey man, you got some good books there. Well, it was a much bigger week than I thought. I wasn't expecting to nearly get this many books, but walking in there, there was just too many books that I couldn't leave on the shelf. And to start off, I had to go with Once and Future, and this is issue 19. I really need to catch up on this. It's a great, just fantasy story, very much almost kind of like D&D-esque, and or at least the early issues I did read, I really loved it. Unfortunately, I just fell off, and so I really need to catch up. So I had to pick that up today. And then definitely had to pick up Department of Truth. So we got the cover A, and then I had to pick up this cover. This cover is just too awesome. They didn't have the one that you got, so I will have to try and track that down.
So, well, I was looking for that one, and my LCS did not have that one. So
we'll see. We'll have to make a swap. But
sounds good.
Next up is Rabid World number 3. Been an interesting book so far. And then, of course, Something is Killing the Children. As everyone knows that watches this show, like I'm just a sucker for anything Tinian, and this is continuing the story and basically origin of Erica Slaughter, and she's going through her trial right now with her totem and facing the monster. And even though like we know the outcome that happens, it's still such a gut wrenching like event. Like you fear for her, and I can't wait to read this and continue that. Next, had to pick up Thor. I've been doing it. Kate's has just been on fire. And of course, when I saw the Momoko, gotta support Momoko. I've been loving these covers. Go pick that up.
It's such a good story.
I'm looking forward to it. And then with the Star Wars, also Dr. Aphra, went with the Wanted variant. And then for Vader, was able to get the 50th anniversary cover with Maul and Palpatine on there. Sick cover, couldn't leave that one. And then this one, I just noticed actually, because they had this on the wall and it was one per customer and I didn't know why, but I got Winter Guard #1, and I guess I didn't notice until now, but it's signed.
Oh, nice.
And they periodically do this. I guess being down in SoCal, I am a little spoiled that a lot of the creators of some of these books all live down here, and the store that's out here is fairly popular, and so they do come in and they just sign these books and just put them on the shelf.
That's awesome.
Wow, I did not notice that literally until right this second. I was sitting there wondering why it was one per person, and then had to pick up, and this was the last copy they had at the shop, but Ice Cream Man #25. I've been hearing that this is an easy book to jump into. This is a 25th issue, and so it's kind of like an anniversary issue. And I loved Haha so much. I've been saying I need to dive into it. Might as well, finally do it. And then finally, King Spawn. Big Spawn fan. Had to pick this up. Had to go with the McFarlane cover. Unfortunately, I could not afford the 1 in 250. Those things are going for like $700 right now. But it would be really cool to have Todd McFarlane sign this. And this is a thick book. This thing.
Did your store actually get one of those 1 in 250s?
Yes. Yeah, they got them.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know how many they had, but yeah, they definitely got them. I was talking with them today, and they're like, yeah, they're selling for about like $700 right now.
Jeez.
Craziness. But it was a huge week this week. Like, there were so many cool things coming out, and after looking at this deck, I know there was stuff that I wanted to pull the trigger on at the shop, but didn't. I got to stick to my budgets kind of thing, and this was already pushing my budget as it is. But yeah, I am really excited to read these. I can't wait to do our review this weekend. And for our viewers, we are going to try and pump this review video out earlier for you guys. So we're really, really going to shoot to have it out on Friday, just so we can get more content out for you guys, because I'd like to do a little bit more different types of videos on the weekends with everyone. So hopefully stay tuned for that, and hopefully we come out with some pretty cool stuff for you guys. Well, I think that basically just segues us into our next part of the show, where we go over our Let's Chat, where it's just basically some news that we heard throughout the comic universe out there, the comic world, on what's going around, either through movies, TVs, comics, anything that has to do with comic-esque stuff. So first topic, this one actually was something that you sent me, Nick. I didn't realize that this has happened, but this is really kind of cool, because being a Spawn fan, I love John Leguizamo, especially with his portrayal in the Spawn movie as the Clown and Violator. There's no one else that I could picture playing that character so well. He did such a good job. But getting to the point, it was announced today that John Leguizamo and Todd McFarlane are reuniting, and it's only for a cover, but it's still cool that they're back together, working together, because John Leguizamo is coming out with his own comic. This is really kind of cool, and it seems like, just like with Emily Clark and Keanu Reeves, there's a lot of actors that are starting to get into this genre, and they want to tell these stories. And so John Leguizamo is starting an all Latin creative team behind this book, and it's called PhenomX, I believe it is. PhenomX, something like that. PhenomX. Yeah, so it's an interesting title, but it essentially centers around this character named Max Gomez, and he has been wrongfully imprisoned, and he really is desperate to get out. He wants his freedom back, and he's so desperate that he decides to join this like underground government experiment that essentially gives him superpowers, and he's able to then shapeshift with these new abilities that he's got. But on top of that, he's now learning that his newfound freedom includes him having to fight and survive within this super powered war that's being fought on the streets of New York. Now, it's kind of an interesting story. I don't know. What do you think when you first read this, Nick, or at least first read this announcement?
Yeah, I mean, I think it sounds awesome. I'm really excited because I really enjoy John Leguizamo as an actor.
Yes.
I think he's such a dynamic character that like he can play pretty much anything. He's been in plenty of like extremely funny positions and then very, very serious. So I'm really looking forward to if he can do that on screen. I think he could translate that same energy into his story here. So I think it could be amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. I do agree with John Leguizamo that the Latin talent is underrepresented in especially in comics and movie in that world. So I think it's really cool that he is putting together this all Latin team and creating this Latin superhero, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Heck yeah. You know, that's a good thing you bring that up, because definitely all the representation for all these different people out there, you know, it's definitely something that we could use in the comic industry. And so I've got nothing but, you know, the best intentions for him and his success. I hope it really hits off. I'm going to definitely be picking this book up because I'm really interested. Like I said, like you said, I mean, we all love John Leguizamo. We love the stuff he grew up with. And I even loved him in the Mario Brothers movie. So, yes, I will be there to support him. I will be looking for this Todd McFarlane cover that he's going to be doing for him. I'm hoping it's not some really tough to get book, but I will definitely be trying. And I believe this book comes out and goes on sale on November 3rd. So it's coming up quick.
I think that's what I read too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is definitely coming out very soon.
Heck yeah. So guys, definitely hit up your LCS and see if they can't put that on your list. Tell them you definitely want to pick one of those books up. And then moving on to our next announcement. This is kind of just something a little fun and small, but following right alongside the whole Todd McFarlane and the release of Kingspawn today, we just wanted to announce that, you know, Kingspawn did announce that they had sold almost 500,000 copies of this book. That's amazing in today's comics world. You know, most books barely even get 100,000, but I think the last book that ever reached that number of 500,000 and surpassed it was Berserker.
Yeah.
I think so. Just want to throw congratulations out to Todd McFarlane and Image and everything that's going on with Spawn. Like, that's a great milestone to hit. It's crazy to see those numbers nowadays. When I was working in the shops just a few years ago, like, you got 30, 40,000 books. It was like, okay, that's a decent book.
Yeah. I wonder how much that 1 in 250 attributed to the number of copies sold, because that was such a hyped book. And yeah, for what I've read and seen, people are loving the comic. There was some reappearances of characters that we had no idea were going to reappear. But yeah, it's a huge feat, and congratulations to Todd McFarlane too. So
heck yeah. I can't wait to read it. It's going to be on my reviews, hopefully on Friday. And I know you saying that just now about characters kind of coming back. I know it's a tall order, and I know it's probably never going to happen, but first thing I thought, I was like, please let Angela come back. I doubt it's ever going to happen. So unfortunately.
Oh, dude, you got to read some of those comics you got there.
Well, gosh, hopefully that's a good sign for me. So I will definitely be reading that one here pretty soon. But we'll keep this rolling. Next news piece is actually one that I am really excited for. But Boom Studios has announced that they are going to be having a new Power Rangers event titled Power Rangers Universe. And this is actually pretty cool. It's written by Nicole Andelfinger, and she has written things like The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance, The Regular Show, Steven's Universe, which have all been really fun. I love the Dark Crystal stuff. They're so good. The Jim Henson comics have just been really great, and she did a great job with that. And the art is by Simone Ragazzoni. So I have to look up some of her work. The name doesn't too familiar, but if it falls alongside the Power Ranger artwork that we've had in the other lines, it should be great. The artwork has always been top notch and fits that Power Ranger style. But what's really cool about this book is that it's going to finally dive into a question that has been swirling around the Power Rangers fandom for, oh gosh, I think it said like 24 years since the character first was introduced. And it's going to follow and finally give us the true origin of the Phantom Ranger and what his connection is to the morphing grid. Like, as a Power Ranger fan, I know many out there, just like me, have definitely been curious about the Phantom Ranger. He's such a cool character, and we did get a recent story about him in the Power Ranger line. I think it was like Power Ranger Unlimited. I'll have to put a note here if that is correct or incorrect. But either way, we recently did have one where it basically did give us some insight into the Phantom Ranger, and that he is a creature, a being created of the morphing grid energy. I think, which is kind of interesting and cool, because I know people have speculated like, oh, it's Billy. Billy's the real Phantom Ranger, and so it's like, no, unfortunately, that never has come to light, and that's never been true, unfortunately. But when this book comes out, we're finally gonna find out. Nick, what are your thoughts?
I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, I'm not as big into the Power Rangers as you are now. I mean, growing up, absolutely loved the Power Rangers. I did look up Simone Ragazzoni and some of their art. Apparently, Draken, the New Dawn.
Okay. Okay.
Heir to the Darkness.
Okay.
And the Power Ranger Unlimited Edge of Darkness. So really looking forward to that art style. I really like the Draken New Dawn stuff. So I think that's going to be a great combination with Nicole Andelfinger. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I really like the is it Joni Montez?
Gianni Montez.
Gianni.
At least that's how I've always pronounced it. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's definitely, you know, as you see, I mean, I have to collect all of his helmet covers, and I hear he's got a cover coming out for this book.
Yep. The negative space variant looks really, really nice.
Heck yes.
I think my favorite variant though is the Miguel Mercado variant. I think that one looked amazing. So I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, definitely looking forward to learning a little bit more about the Phantom Ranger.
Heck yeah, the Power Ranger run has just been such a fun story and a fun read. I definitely recommend you catch up on it too. It's been a lot of fun. Our viewers as well. I say it every time I review the books. Pick them up. It's a lot of fun. You don't have to be a huge Power Ranger fan growing up. If you're just getting into the story, it's really easy to get into, and it just hits. Like, it's just so much fun. It's reignited the Power Ranger fandom. I mean, once Shattered Grid hit, it just was nothing but up, and it's been a lot of fun. So guys, definitely pick this up. I'm gonna definitely be picking this up. I'm gonna have to hunt down that Gianni Montez cover.
Yeah, I've been picking up all the Power Ranger stuff. I just haven't had a chance to read a lot of it yet, especially with Thor ongoing and Venom and all of the books that I've been picking up, all the independent comics and everything. I've just been so busy, but I definitely really want to catch up on all of the Power Rangers before this one comes out. And this one comes out December, right?
I believe you're right. Yeah, I think that's correct. I can make sure I make a note of that.
Yep, and it is a limited series too, so it's not going to be an ongoing series. So if you're going to pick it up, it's not a huge commitment. So yeah.
Heck yeah. And like I said, we're finally going to get that answer that we've always been waiting for. So definitely pick it up. All right, now moving to our very last bit of news for this week. And this one's actually really kind of cool because it does have some speculation tied to it. We found out that Riri Williams, who's played by Dominique Thorne, and we know that she's going to be having her own Ironheart series. Well, the news that came out is that she has been confirmed to be in the upcoming Black Panther film. As well, as rumors, and it's almost getting to a point where it's like, okay, this is pretty much confirmed, but it's swirling around right now in the comic universe that Shuri, who is Letitia Wright, is the actress.
Letitia, I think.
Is it Letitia? I apologize if I mispronounced that, but the actress, she is actually going to finally be taking over the mantle of Black Panther. And I mean, a lot of us have been kind of speculating that, especially if it's going to follow the comics, and it's just like a perfect fit. So, Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I really, really wanted Letitia Wright to become the new Black Panther, so I'm really looking forward to that. I think she's like perfect for it. She's already an established character in the MCU. She's already got the knowledge and the love from the people in Wakanda.
Well, even the fans as well. Like everyone.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Fell in love with her as Shuri.
Yeah. And in the comics, really the only other choice was Killmonger, and I mean they could bring him back, but the last time he was there, he was not too well liked. So
well, that and I heard that what's his name?
Michael B. Jordan.
No. The other gentleman in Black Panther, he was the Gorilla Tribe.
Oh,
M'Baku. Thank you. That the rumors, I guess, were floating around that he may be taking up the mantle, but I mean, I could
see
cool.
that, but
it just I think Shuri
but
fits
that was
too well.
Yeah, that was such a small part. Like Shuri is the bigger character, the more following from the fans. I think it's the right choice to make.
Definitely. I think it's the right choice, and from what I've heard, is they're going to basically be using Shuri to be the next, or like the Iron Man type figure, like the Tony Stark type figure. She's going to be the brains, the tech behind it that Tony was for the Avengers in the previous films, and that ties right in with Riri.
Oh, absolutely. Riri could be learning from her. I mean, Riri's a genius on her own, but she's already, like, Shuri's already an established genius in the MCU.
Right.
She's behind pretty much all of the tech that's been created.
Yeah. And I mean, in the comics with Riri, I mean, she built her prototype armor set, I believe, in her dorm room, if I remember correctly. Which, I mean, when she first came out in the comics, it was always kind of a thought that was going around with people that were reading it, that she was just going to take over and kind of be like the new Tony Stark. So really cool. Kind of getting into the spec side of it for viewers. If you guys are really trying to be on top of this with this kind of news, some of the books you want to be looking out for are as follows. For Shuri, key appearances: Black Panther #2 is the first appearance of Shuri, and that's probably the one that's most spec'd right now. It seems to be holding a pretty high dollar value. Last I checked, it's upwards of around 150 to 200, I think, for the book. And I can see once that he actually dons the outfit and takes over the mantle in the movies, I can see that book really shooting up. And follow along with Black Panther 3. A lot of people really like to go after the second appearances if they can't get the first appearances, especially when they climb out of reach for some people. So Black Panther 3 is the second appearance of Shuri. We have Black Panther 5, which is the first appearance of Shuri as the Black Panther, as well as some notable keys as well, is Marvel Previews 64 and Black Panther #1, which is the first cover appearance of Shuri in the costume. So
yeah, and that free previews one, that one still goes for like around $150 in a average condition.
Yeah. You had one for a while, I believe.
I did. Yeah, I sold it. I may regret that, but
it's okay. I've been holding on to my Black Panther too. I didn't realize I had it for the longest time, and I was like, oh, hey, it's a Shuri.
Yeah, no fear of missing out for me, because I was able to. No, I was able to pick up some Thor keys with the proceeds that I got from selling that one. Heck so yeah. I was happy with that.
And that's all that matters, man. If as long as you're happy with it and you got something that you really enjoy, it's worth it.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I hope along the previous topic, I hope that they allow Spider-Man. I know Spider-Man doesn't have like a huge future in the MCU since he is owned by Sony, but I hope that they allow him to take up some part of that Iron Man too, because I don't think they've done a very good job of showing just how smart Spider-Man is, because he was also a genius.
Well, that's true. That's true. That's true. And
So
who knows?
like I hope like Tony Stark is the ultimate, right? The ultimate genius in the Marvel comic and Marvel continuity. But if they put together like Shuri, Riri, and Spider-Man, like you have like the ultimate genius trifecta there.
No,
So
you're gonna have Reed Richards thrown in there, and he's gonna blow them all out of the water.
yeah, sure.
But just before we get too far into that, I do want to go ahead and throw out a couple Riri keys, because she is also going to be a big hit in the MCU, and that book
absolutely.
is definitely going to climb. That book already pretty much climbs, but the book I'm talking about is Invincible Iron Man #7 for the first one. That is the first cameo appearance of Riri Williams, and then Invincible Iron Man #9. That is her first full appearance and the first time that she actually wears her prototype armor. So those books are really hot. There are second and third printings of these books that are really hot. Especially some of those second and third printings, they have the Riri Williams stamp on the front that shows her face, which collectors are really going after as well. So guys, be on the lookout for any of these Black Panther, Invincible Iron Man books, because they're going to be hot keys once these guys hit the MCU.
Yeah, that third printing is like the hottest one right now, isn't it?
It's either the third or second printing. I'd have to go look.
I think the third had a lower print run.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to do another discussion on that, about this whole thing with the print runs and stuff on later printings. It's like, well, no duh, guys.
Yeah.
Like, no duh. When you're getting into the third and fourth printing, you're gonna print less because less people are looking for that book, because they've already got it off the previous printings.
Yeah, but market dictates.
It just makes no sense.
I agree. I agree, but market totally dictates in that.
And I get that. I get it. But gosh, sometimes you're like, market, why?
Yeah.
Why? Like, either way, it's for another time. And guys, I think we should probably wrap this up, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this list. There's so much that was going on this week. Gosh, I can't wait to dive into the books I picked up. Nick, sounds like you've already been reading into them, so you're already on top of that. Yeah, I can't wait. It's been a good week so far, and I'm really looking forward to diving into this. But with that, guys, again, thank you all for watching. Again, we hope you all enjoyed this list. Please leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you guys picked up and what you guys have heard around the comic world news that's going on out there that we have probably missed or haven't heard of yet, because we'd love to talk to you about it. And while you're at it, please hit that like and subscribe button and the little notification bell so that you guys get all of our upcoming videos without missing a beat. Thank you all for watching, guys. We'll see you all a little later this week.
Yeah.